ahead and get started. And we're now live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the most important Discord election debate in the history of ever. Between Mosh Wizards and Steve Go Home, the top two candidates for the current position in the Discord, co-owner of the server for the next 12 months. They will be replacing Chicken Lord, who has been the previous co-owner of the server. He made a bid for re-election and dropped out a few weeks back. The official election will be in about a week. Well, actually, about 2 weeks, because it'll be the 16th through the 18th, so the duration of the entire weekend. In preparation of that, we're doing the second debate. We've already done one. This one is between Malsh and Steve Go Home. There are two other candidates running in the race. There is Costa. Let me show you guys here real quick. Polls. There's Costa. He said he might show up this morning. We haven't seen him yet. There is Leroy Mikeskart the 13th, better known as Cataton. He declined to attend. So, gentlemen, go ahead and quickly introduce yourself to the audience, please. Go ahead and explain briefly what you want to do. Sum up your candidacy, if you will. Malsh, we'll start with you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Malsh. I am a very early member of the community. I have been moderating for Cass for probably close to, 2 years now? Probably half of the duration that I've been here. I have a program that I set up called the KES program. If you haven't had a chance to go look at it, you can go check it out in the campaign Discord channel.
Just a suggestion. Why don't you post that if you have a moment? Why don't you post that in the YouTube live chat so that people can click on that if they want to?
Am I able to post that in the YouTube live chat?
You have moderator status, correct?
I believe so.
You should be able to.
Unless that changed in the last...
Yeah, I mean, YouTube changes stuff all the time, but I would honestly doubt it. All right, we're starting to see some people trickle in. What's good, Caddy Lopez, Gabriel, Pidgey? Good to see you guys. Hard to see this. Oh, had to see this. My bad. Totally misread that statement. That one R makes all the difference. All right, Steve. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. I skipped Malsh a little bit. Malsh, so tell us a little bit about this document you're posting. What's in it?
Yeah, so this is a program that I set up that I thought would be the best way to run the server over the year that I'll be in office. I took some research ideas and some things previously from what I've seen work and not work in the server. The KES program has 3 different sections of individuals that would represent it. We have the keep section, the entertainment section, and the supply section. Each section is key to making sure that the server runs well and make sure that all of the other branches are doing their jobs correctly. If everything goes well within these different allocated groups, we can expect to see more events for the server. We can expect to see more moderation for the server. We can expect to see more polls and votes for people to represent what they want to do in the server. Because honestly, my campaign for the last 2 years has been about community, and really that's what this program is about.
All right, good deal. Steve, Go Home. Would you give a little bit of an introduction to yourself as a candidate, what you want to do, your campaign, etc., basically what Malsh just did?
Yeah, hi. My name is Steve Go Home. Well, I haven't been in the Discord as long as Malsh. I joined, what was it, May of 2021, so I'm nearing a year and a half. And two of us are thinking of doing some similar things, increase the amount of events in the Discord when it comes to game night, movie nights, other things, increase some more polls going on in the Discord. Yeah.
Okay.
More communication between the people in the Discord and the people that are running things with me. More, what's the word I'm thinking of? Transparency between the two groups.
Communication between the two groups. Please go on.
Oh, fuck. At first.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that. So basically, Mosh got his KES program. Steve wants to have more movie nights, game nights, better communication between staff, etc. Did I sum that up more or less correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, we have seen quite the treacherous campaign trail, right? We've seen candidates drop out for various reasons. What's really surprising is this race mostly started off with Chicken Lord seemingly in a surefire win for re-election. Malsh had come in at a very close second. Steve was not too far behind him in third. Chicken Lord dropped out, and then it seemed that Steve seemed to take the lead. So I'm curious, asking both of you guys why you think that is. Because I believe in our last poll, Steve showed up something along the lines of like 16 votes. Malsh came in at, I want to say 9. And, I mean, nobody voted for Costa or Cat. I don't think anyone was even aware they were running. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Why do you guys think that is? How do you explain the shift of voter preference, I guess you might say?
So I come at it from a position similarly that I did last year, which is that we still, despite the fact that I think every single person that has dropped out has gone on to endorse me, and I think this is true. Chicken Lord, except for people who didn't endorse others, I'm pretty sure every person that dropped out went on to endorse me.
The only one that endorsed you.
That's not true. Gray endorsed me. Here, let me go back. Let me go back to the old thing. Yeah, I can go back.
Did Gray endorse you? Also,
yes,
I forgot to announce this in announcements, so I'm going to do that real quick.
Gray did end up endorsing me. No Legend ended up endorsing me. Plasma X ended up endorsing me.
That's true.
See that in his message.
Jur Nighthawk ended up endorsing me. It was beforehand. In the message, he didn't say anything. And I may be wrong. I may be spitballing here, but I think that's what he said. If not, then so be it.
So most of your fellow candidates dropped out and endorsed you, yet you still find yourself tailing the lead. Why is that?
So I am not a person who is very communicative in a higher position of power. You'll actually find that despite the fact that I've been in the server for over 4 years, I'm actually a lower level in the Discord than Steve is. This is mostly because I spend a lot of my time, if I am going to be in chat or on stream, I spend a lot of my time watching or moderating. Exactly. You'll notice a lot of the stuff that does get moderated ends up being done by me. But if I had to guess and I had to say why Steve is doing better than me right now, it's just because he talks more. Steve is a very aggressive person when it came to this campaign. He was very unfair towards Chicken Lord and made some very
ironic,
boisterous claims against people like me or Diagnostic, which were definitely interesting, to say the least.
Sounds like slander.
It sounds like you're interrupting me.
Steve, give Mosh a moment to finish his conversation. I promise you'll get a chance to respond in a moment. Mosh, please continue.
So, as it is currently, I believe that the reason that Steve is just in first in general has to do with the fact that he just talks more, and there are more people who are seeing his side of things, as every time anybody says anything about the campaign, his immediate response is to try and talk them down.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you, Mosh. Steve, what do you think, dude? Do you agree with this reason? Do you think this is why you're in the lead? What do you have to say about these claims of aggressive campaigning, one might say?
I definitely think him not talking as much in the Discord as me is definitely a factor.
Okay. Was that it?
Not sure I would say it's in the entire reason. But funny, it comes to claims. Yet he went after me and another candidate saying our ideas were unoriginal and derivative, downplaying them to the point he called us not actual candidates because we didn't have a plan detailed as far as Sheldon Cooper would detail a roommate agreement.
I didn't say that, but okay.
You did say we weren't real candidates.
I didn't, but
you did.
All right.
Okay. Steve, do you have evidence of Mosh suggesting that you guys weren't real candidates?
I had it in a message in
Do you want to
text
pull that
chat,
up
I
for me?
believe.
Yeah, can
Go
you
pull it up.
pull up a screenshot of that for us?
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. All right.
Because I do absolutely remember saying that you were unoriginal, but I don't have any recollection of saying you weren't a candidate.
I do remember there being certain allegations that certain people stole other people's ideas and repackaged them as their own. But
So I came. All right. So let me explain that a little bit because Steve likes to take that one out of context. So we were in a conversation, and he was talking about there was a huge talk about a YouTube channel for the Discord.
Right.
And my response to them talking about that and making this as one of their main points, because at the time I was yelling at Steve because for the first month or two of his campaign, he had absolutely nothing down on the table. So when I asked him and he finally gave me a response, his response was more community stuff like a YouTube channel. And I said, that's great and all, but also everybody else wants to do that. Can you think of something original? And then I said that that idea was something I had actually come up with in the election last year. And so I was continuing to try and barrage him and say, can you come up with an idea that A, hasn't been done before, and B, wasn't my own? And he took this out of context to say that I was saying he had no original ideas and that he wasn't a real candidate, which is not what I was saying. What I was saying was that he wasn't bringing anything new to the table. The idea he had, though a good idea,
Found it.
wasn't original in of itself.
Oh, she said in 08, 06, 2020, 22. When you answer that and give me an approach plan, I'll say you're a valid candidate.
can you post a screenshot?
Yeah. Give me a
Okay.
minute.
Yeah, by all means, go right ahead.
Anyway. Now that does sound like something I would have said. Although I don't think it was in the context of me saying that you weren't a real candidate.
Well, I mean, context is not everything, but a good portion of things.
Context within that. Although if what you're basing it off of is the actual words that I used, then sure, I called you not a real candidate.
So, as far as like original ideas is concerned, what's that?
Want me to post it in text chat or?
Yeah, text chat's fine. Also, I just want to take a moment, while we're waiting on Steve, to let the chat know if anybody has any public questions they want to pose to any of these candidates, please write them down. I'll be sure and get to them at some point. Let's see this screenshot. When you can answer that and give me an approach plan, I'll say you're a valid candidate. 8/06/2022. So that was almost a month ago.
Yeah, about a month. Yeah.
Mosh.
I remember this. I was sitting in an airport, and you can find the context of it. I'm sure it revolves around a very similar thing as I said. But I was sitting in an airport, and Steve had said something to Chicken Lord, I think, and then I was like, "No, this is some BS right here."
Well, I'm trying to search for that particular message, like in the actual context of the thread it was in, but Discord
if you're gonna search for it,
is not working.
I would rather you do it off of the stream because it's also going to put up stuff that's from the admin boardroom, and that's stuff that probably shouldn't be displayed to stream.
Oh, it was in the admin boardroom. Okay, that explains why I couldn't find it with the search function.
I'm looking at it right now.
It was in text chat, but if you search up all of the messages I've sent and look for it, it'll also find stuff from admin board.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Plasma says he needs popcorn. Okay, so which candidate likes popcorn? No, I'm teasing. All right, so
what kind of movie theaters? I hope I should like popcorn.
Yeah, speaking of movie theaters, let's talk about a pretty not very discussed feature of the Discord server because it's a mostly private feature. How familiar are you guys with esoteric cinema?
I mean, I've looked at it. I mean, it is
with it.
Its existence is only as much as people like are within it, and it's not used very much.
But you could say the same for the pickup system that Chicken Lord implemented.
That's correct. Astute observation, Cass.
Yeah, the
Um,
difference though is esoteric cinema. There has to be some level of privacy to that because
yes, I'm
while
aware.
once upon a time it was feasible to just have like a movie night in a Discord server, and nobody really gave a crap. With everybody like cracking down on like supposed copyright abuse, there has to be like certain limitations in place to keep it like an intimate setting. What I'm curious, and the whole reason I even bring this matter up, is how would you gentlemen, if you were in an assumed role of power, how would you make this a noted feature of the server without drawing too much unwanted attention to it? What would be your method to that?
I feel like if you're going to make it a known factor of the server, you're going to make it a known factor of the server. I wouldn't necessarily try to hide it. I would just make it blocked behind a role so that if there was a situation where, oh, I don't know, I don't even know how they would find out that it exists, but if somebody were to find out that it exists or like look for it,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if it's locked behind anything. That I don't think TOS changes anything if it's locked behind something. So maybe put a role for it.
I mean, that's
Take ping and
basically how
whatnot.
it is currently, is there's a role for it.
Right, and that's fine. I think that would be something that would be handled by my entertainment system if they wanted to keep it or not.
Okay.
But generally speaking, I think movie nights are a fine idea. I just don't think that many people come to them.
You know, I really liked Heat.
That's true.
So
Not a whole lot of people attend them, but well, movie nights are kind of like game nights. They're great if it's the
Sure.
thing that you want to watch / play. If not, you're probably not interested.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of
But-
people
But, if
come.
if the question is how would I continue to implement it, it probably
Mhm.
wouldn't change much from what it is now.
Okay. Duly noted then. Thank you. Steve, your response to the same question.
I would probably put a role to it.
There already is a role to
would-
it.
No, I know. I don't think I would change it too much.
You would put a different role
yeah.
to it?
No, I don't think I'd put a different role. But yeah, depending on what movie we're watching, some people might not want to join, which is completely fair.
Right. I mean, if you like scary movies and we're streaming Shrek
Musical.
2, you're probably not
Okay,
going to
maybe
want to
other-
tune in that night. I
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
wouldn't either. And I don't like scary movies. I just don't want to see Shrek 2 again. Oh, goodness. All right.
See the big scary ogre.
Goodness gracious. So, let me ask you a question. This is more of a personal question. All right, give me a second. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this here. Let's say that Mosh was elected main owner. All right, Mosh, would you give Steve like a role within your administration? Which is a silly question because he's already a royal guard, but humor me. Would you give him a role, or would you think he wouldn't be qualified for that?
My system is entirely a representative democracy. So any role that he
So
would
it's all
get would
based
be voted
on
upon. Correct.
Voting.
Correct.
So your system's kind of like a popularity contest?
What? Isn't that what any vote is ever, is a popularity contest? Yes, it is a democracy. That's how representative democracies go, generally speaking. So yes, it's a popularity contest, LOLXD.
Okay.
Isn't
Well,
that what the president is?
Well, it just seemed odd because
in my system, there will be people put into place, but there will be a vote for each individual system, excluding the supply system, for people who they feel would be best at managing those systems. So let's say Chicken Lord was like, man, I really want to help keep this server like well supported. I really want to be the guy that goes and advertises it. I really want to be the guy that blah 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 blah. He could be like, hey, I want to do this. And so when I'm like, hey, we're voting on this, you can vote for Chicken Lord if you think Chicken Lord would have a good idea. If it comes down to a situation where it's a really close tie, or it's something where it's, one candidate is better than the other very blatantly, things can change. But generally speaking, if Steve wanted a position, I wouldn't have any issue with him applying for a position. I wouldn't automatically put him in a position because that's not how my system would work.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense because it's a democratically controlled system. It just seemed odd to me because earlier it felt like you were kind of like criticizing. Well, not like you were criticizing, more it was just an observation that the reason Steve is more popular is because he's more vocal and more talkative and more into the whole system of being seen, which
Sure.
almost sounded like a criticism of the
wasn't-
popularity factor of democracy, but yet you're still suggesting the same exact approach in your document.
I wasn't criticizing democracy. You didn't ask me what my criticisms were. You asked me for my observations, which I supplied to you.
Fair enough. I might have taken that out of context. Steve, same question to you, dude. Let's say you were elected main owner. I mean, you don't, as far as I'm aware, you don't have a document promoting a democratically elected bureaucracy for the server. So how would you handle appointing others to positions of power, I guess you might say?
I would probably give the position to who I felt was the best person for the job.
Okay. And I'm guessing that would obviously change based on the job, based on what the job was and who all you were looking at. Would you give
Exactly.
Malsha a job?
If he wanted the position after he applied, and if I thought he was the best person, for sure.
Okay. Fair enough. Good deal. So Atif in the chat says, "I'm here to witness the greatest election debate in the history of humanity." Oh wow, he's in for a good one.
Landed on thick.
What? What'd you say? Oh, you just said hi, Atif. Okay. I heard something totally different. I'm not going to repeat what I heard. Indie Finn says, "Well, I remember I subbed to your channel when you were proving that TF2 was actually safe to play." Wow, that was like,
That was a
what,
long
2.5
time ago.
years ago?
Something like that.
That was a long time. That was when Chicken Lord first found the channel, funny enough. And then Steve came from Wolfenstein Blade of Agony. So good stuff. Hey, 2.5 years later,
Yeah,
dude.
great mod.
TF2 still going strong. So, though, actually, if we're going to talk about people who are big in the TF2 community, Malsh should probably get the most credit.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say out of everyone in our little group, you're probably the one who's still the most active in TF2.
Yeah, that's actually probably true. I mean, literally, I think I'm the only one who survived to be a Royal Guard, and I think I'm the only one that survived to actually been like, hey, you should play TF2. Don't think anybody's ever asked that in, like, months.
Yeah, I remember it used to be a very common thing. People would come to streams and be like, dude, why aren't you playing TF2? I want to see you play TF2 again. Nowadays, it's not that
I still
common.
think you should play TF2.
Oh, I'm aware, yeah, and I will, and I'm actually currently so.
Hey, you still got a 100% TF2, mate.
Yeah, I know, right? I's got still plenty of achievements, plenty of leveling systems, tons of community servers to explore. In fact, lately I've actually been playing TF2 a little bit more, like not on stream, but just I've kind of gradually dipped my toe back into it, and I'll probably stream it again here in the future, as well as like mods for it, like Open Fortress and stuff like that. But really on my channel, like moving forward, I'm really trying to figure out what future content is looking like, because I'm kind of at a crossroads. Like I've been doing YouTube for not 5 years, but almost 5 years, right? Like 4 and some
Sure.
change. And we're at the point right now where streaming is not the full-time streaming is not the end goal that it once was. Now that's partially due to how the community has grown. That's partially due to my own limitations with where I live and the crappy choices I have in internet service providers. I'm sure you guys have experienced tons of those issues. But it also has to do a little bit with me, what I've learned about people, what they want to see. I'm really at a point right now where I'm trying to make content that's going to appeal to the broadest potential set of viewers without necessarily having to be watered down to accomplish that. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to figure out what that looks like moving forward. And so part of the role of co-owner, the main owner in the Discord, is not only administrative work and setting up events and all that. You almost kind of serve as like a representative of the whole community and what they kind of want to see, and that's going to be greatly influencing my decisions moving forward in ways it might never have had the opportunity to in the past, if only just because I wasn't open enough to kind of look at it from that viewpoint. So, also, by the way, I took a little poll in the chat right when the stream started, so about 25 minutes ago.
The vote split.
Yeah, we got 12 votes, split
Wow.
50-50 between Mosh and Steve. So that's fun. I'm excited to
Well,
see that.
6 each.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, make sure you're in the Discord. Make sure you got the registered voter roll. Election is on 16th to 18th. So one of these fine gentlemen will most likely go on to be our main owner candidate. So
You put the KES program thing in again.
Yeah, because there are new people are in here, so
Oh, no.
that's kind of the main point of my candidacy. So
Yeah.
that
I'm
being
sorry, can you
advertised
say
is
that one more
important.
time?
There are new people in here, so I'm reposting the KES program being the main point of my candidacy.
Ah,
the main
okay,
focus.
I'm sorry. I was mentally in a
I don't
different
read again.
space and I didn't hear what you said. Steve, what did you say?
I thought you were about to attack me. I was like,
Me?
Yeah, you said that so quickly after I had finished the statement that I thought you were about to get me with a got him moment, but or like
No,
a
what
gotcha
had
moment.
happened
But-
is
Funny.
I was reading the chat and I realized you were saying something and I was missing it. So like real quick, I turned around. I was like, "What was that?" And you just finished it. So no, I wasn't trying to attack you at all. Plasma X says, I don't read. Well, that's definitely not true because you are sending me screenshots on Discord of text from Chicken Invaders like 24/7, so you clearly do quite a bit of reading.
Pretty sure he's the only one sending Chicken Invader stuff.
Good old Chicken Invaders. Oh, man.
I haven't played that in a while.
So, here's a different question. And this is for both of you guys. And either one of you can start, I don't care. What are some mistakes that you feel that you have seen taken place in the Discord server over the years? And how would you avoid making similar mistakes in the future?
In the server, the biggest thing that I've seen, the biggest problem is not a lot of people are retained. We have a lot of people that come in on a weekly basis. Like, there are quite a few people that will join, probably 6 or 7 people that will join a week. But within those people, none of them end up like talking or staying. So I feel like 2 of the biggest things that would need to change is I really think that the Discord needs to be advertised better on your channel, and I really think the Discord needs to have a more opening environment to people coming and sticking around, etc., etc. I think that the closest thing we have to like new people getting into it is the introduce yourself channel, which is seldom used. So it'll kind of just, I don't know. There just needs to be some change there, and within my program, there are people that would be able to do that.
So, as far as advertising on my channel is concerned, what would you suggest that I could do better with that? Should I mention it at the end of videos, put it on the end screen? Like, what needs to be done? So,
for instance, let's say I get elected, and we're doing events, or we're doing a giveaway, or we're doing, 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be something where at the end of your streams, if you're continuing to do streams, that you're like, hey, join the Discord server. We're doing a giveaway of Hardy Dardy Dar. or hey, join the Discord server where there's an event going on where you can participate and play with me and hardy dardy dar, etc., etc. I just think it needs to be something where there was one video you did. It was a loadout video, where you.
I remember that was Spectrum
Yeah.
Project, right?
Yep, you did that with Spectrum Project, and you did a loadout thing, and it boosted the server so much. Like there were so many people that came in after that video, and so doing things like that, or kind of changing the way you approach that can be, I think, a pretty good thing for the Discord.
Okay, that sounds great.
Because it is your Discord after all.
That is true. It is my Discord. Steve, let's hear from you, dude. Steve, are you with us? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, I hear
Mulch
you.
has the right idea with not a lot of people are staying, and doing a better job advertising the Discord would definitely help.
Okay,
Right.
what would you suggest as far as advertising is concerned?
Link it in the chat or something. Mention it more often in the YouTube channels, giveaways, that kind of thing.
Okay. Just be like, you should come to the Discord. Here's a list of all the fun stuff we have.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say, here's a list of all the cool people we have, but for some reason, people just aren't emotionally connected to strangers as much as events.
Yeah,
Right.
Even though, personally, this is just me. I like the Discord server, not necessarily because of the stuff we do in it, but because of the people who are a part of it. But I know you guys. A new viewer's not going to have that same outlook.
Well, and that's the problem, isn't it? Because
it is
the fact that there are definitely like awesome people who are in the Discord, it still suffers from the fact that people who are going to join don't know those people. So
right, yeah. And I've had to learn over time to put myself in the perspective of a new viewer finding the channel and like how to best orient it so they can like find what they're looking for. But it's hard to do because usually I'm just used to looking at it as from the perspective of the guy who makes the stuff, right?
Yeah, you gotta put it in the viewer's shoes.
Exactly. And I'm sure there's people watching the stream right now who have been on the receiving end of that, right? Where they're just like pulling their hair out because they're like, Kess just really doesn't get it. He does not get what I'm looking for. So, and then there's other people who are like, oh no, this is my little home. So, but I want to, like I said, I want to kind of make it that way for more people, which I think is what everybody here wants. We still have different ideas for what that should look like. Somewhat different ideas. According to some of you, certain people copied others' ideas, but we won't get into that because we already did. Oh man. Steve said, join the Discord now. There you go. I don't think anybody who's here isn't already in the Discord, though. I'd be very surprised. Like, who clicks on a Discord election debate and isn't in a Discord? I mean, I suppose it's possible, but it just seems like it'd be prime for that particular
Seems unlikely.
Target audience. Well, we never saw Costa today. I expected him to tune into the debate because he did say he was going to, but then he also said he had to go on a shopping trip and might be late. Paul Redmond says hello. What's good, Paul? Jack Eugen. What's up, guys? Oh, people are tuning in. Are you gentlemen in the Discord? Steve posted it. You should join. One person, your mom. Wow. All right, well, gentlemen, kind of expected the debate to go on for about another half an hour, but I've kind of run out of questions to ask you guys. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss before we wrap up?
Yeah, I'd like to ask Steve a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Steve, you have a document of some things you would like to do. Can you quickly, in this call, in this stream right now, can you go over just a little bit of what you want to do?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, give me a minute. Pulling up the document. So, to look at my document in the community channel, you'll see some
Looking at your document
Revamp
in the
for-
community channel.
Well, I want
campaign thing.
you to tell me what you're going to do.
doing that, but looking at revamping some of the rules so they're better explained.
Oh, which
you'll-
rules in particular?
I think I have the first two rules in the
Rule 1 and Rule 2?
Yeah.
So, Rule 1 and Rule 2 are... Scroll up here.
no spamming or trying to game the ranking system, and rule
Right,
2
and
is
don't
the
post anything in
stuff.
SFW or sexual. So, okay. So, how would you revamp those?
You look at rule 2 as it stands right now. It says don't post anything that would be considered sexual in nature. References to porn, sexual activities, similar form of text message images that violates the rules.
Right, don't talk about
any
sex stuff.
suggestions of nicknames for all sexual status violates the rule. It may be kicked from the
Right, yeah, there's different details
any
about
text
what
image
does.
posted
And...
is there include memes of sexual nature or repliers that communicate in violation of this rule. It sounds like you're repeating yourself, and I think if you explain it a little better
Sounds
and
like
put it
you're
in a tighter
repeating
package,
yourself.
that might
Oh,
not
because
necessarily
you
be
say
necessary.
references to blah, 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 or anything else in the form of text, images, or
Yeah, it says
videos
it
violates the rule.
twice in the
So,
thing.
yeah, so you feel like...
So let me get this straight. Let me ask a question. One of your main things that you would like to do in your campaign is change the wording of one of our rules.
I'm not
And actually,
finished,
it sounds
dude. I was
like
just
it's
doing
to
one minor
eliminate
thing.
the redundant part of it, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, sure,
So you wanna-
but I just hold on, Cass. I
Can
still
you let me
have a
finish,
hard
or are
time.
you gonna go on your slander route again?
Hang on. Keep yourself down there, buddy. I'm just interested in knowing the general idea of your system rather than very specific things. I just want to know, if you're elected, how you're going to make the server better for the community. Let me be a little bit more specific for you.
I thought, are you going to be more specific for him?
This is funny.
Mosh?
Mosh?
Dude,
No,
he
that's-
literally...
That's what I was talking about. I was saying the more specific thing was for the community. What exactly are you going to do for the community?
Oh, you said let me be a little more specific for you. I thought you were going to follow it up with something, and then you were just silent.
There was a comma after that statement. It was me referring to the previous one.
Ah, okay. I actually thought you had died for a second, so my bad. Steve, you go ahead.
I've already talked about the YouTube channel.
You didn't.
You mentioned it last debate.
Okay, we'll mention it this one for the new folks tuning in.
Okay, in this YouTube channel of community art, art things, will also be where
YouTube
you'll
channel with
find-
community art?
Yeah, you'll find a podcast where we will talk about things that you're doing on your YouTube channel, upcoming events and giveaways in the Discord channel.
We're going to have a
Gaming news.
podcast entirely dedicated to Discord events and giveaways?
Not entirely dedicated
This
to
seems
that.
like
It'll
a
be
very
gaming news.
broad idea, almost as though it's not entirely thought out.
Yeah, it
quite
needs a little more
peculiar.
time in the oven before it's implemented, obviously.
Well, sure. But
Yeah.
the main point of me asking this question is to boil it down to the main idea that I still don't think at this point that you have any solidified things that you know exactly what you're going to plan out. You have these general ideas of what you'd like to do. I think a podcast would be a great idea. But making it about things that Kess is doing or about things that are going on in the Discord would leave for very almost seemingly dry forms of entertainment. How exactly are you planning on growing this channel other than making it entirely revolving around what Kess is doing? Because let's say Kess goes offline. Let's say Kess is taking a break or goes on vacation. Let's say the Discord server is it doesn't
Let's say
matter.
I'm gone for a week.
Right. It seems as though there's still there you still lack direction.
Thankfully.
What's
Never
that?
said that podcasts would be every week. Be like bi-weekly or something, and yeah, there'll be dry periods every now and again. That's not entirely surprising.
Well, but how would you handle the dry periods? Like, what would your what would you
continue
do
to
to
obfuscate?
Continue to what?
You
Didn't
continue
catch
to
that much.
obfuscate. The word
let's
is
okay, let's
obfuscate.
say for example, I was gone a week. I had to
You
go out
fine
of
with that,
town
Nate?
because sick relative or whatever. And you as the co-owner were like, "Oh man, Discord's a little dead. Kess isn't around to do whatever, right? What can I do to spruce this place up a bit?" What would you do?
Maybe host a event and pick up some tourneys.
Okay, Mosh, what would you do?
On your hiatus, if I
Yeah,
had a YouTube
Steve
channel
says he would do
going,
some events and some tournaments. What would you do?
So if you're gone for a week, generally speaking, content. So the YouTube channel that I'm thinking of, this is a weird question to ask me because my system is completely different from his. The
Right,
YouTube
right.
channel that I have the idea of is not at all reliant on you. Excuse me, on you and your videos being produced. It'll be pretty much entirely community based in that what is created is what wants to be done by the community, just in relation to the stuff that you're doing. So let's say you're playing.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I was just saying, let's say for example, Plasma X, random name pulled from the chat. Let's say he came to you and was like, "I want to make Chicken Invaders content on this community channel. Can I do that?" What
Okay.
would you tell him?
Things that are done on the channel will be handled by the entertainment branch. And
Okay.
within that, there may be people that are delegated to doing just the YouTube channel.
Okay.
I myself will also be helping with the YouTube channel, so it'll honestly depend on how those individuals want to run it. But let's say it is something where he comes to the server and is like, "I really want to do something for Chicken Invaders."
Right.
We can say, "Yeah, I think that's a great idea. That's something Kess is doing. That's something we know he has a community around, and we can advertise the Discord. That's a great idea. I don't know much about Chicken Invaders, but I know there are group content in Chicken Invaders. We can get a group together and do some content with that." Or you yourself, Plasma, can record a video on it and submit it to be presented on the YouTube channel. Or, it's something along those lines. The thing about the YouTube channel is that it is not strictly about what you're doing or what the people who are running it are doing. You can submit
Right.
anything you want to be posted on that. It's a community channel.
Right.
But this is a long-term goal. I want people who are going to be voting for me to understand that. This
This
something
isn't
that
gonna
would
like
not be
this wouldn't
implemented
pop up
the
in a
first-
week or two.
No,
It would take
God,
time.
no.
Right.
A lot of the stuff that I'm implying goes over years. So
Well-
this would be a system that I would not only have to be elected for once, but would have to be continued to be elected for, or have the next person in my stead be able to take control of it.
I see. Do you feel that puts voters under like a certain sense of obligation?
It shouldn't put them under a certain sense of obligation because the main goals I would like to achieve still can be achieved within the year that I have if I'm not reelected. It's just those bigger things, like if we want to do a YouTube channel or if we want to grow the server to be really big with tournaments and whatnot, that takes a lot more time than 1 year that I will have. Especially since work will be delegated and it'll take some time for people to get used to that kind of a system. But if I can continue the statement, the point of me bringing that up for you voters and talking to you about Steve's system is because still at this current day, nothing he has is defined. He still lacks any direction in what he wants to do. Despite the fact that he has an idea for a system, there are still problems and holes within his systems that if everything doesn't run 100% according to plan, I don't know that he'll be able to account for. If you want to vote for somebody that is going to represent the server with absolute certainty that things are going to go smooth and that things are going to go, and if there are problems, that things will be achieved, that goals will still be kept in mind, and that there will be more people than just myself to represent you, you should vote for Malsh in this upcoming election.
Well, I'm going to give Steve a chance to respond to that, but I want to read the chat first because we got some stuff. Plasma says, dumb question. Do you want Kess to make cooking videos or vlogs? Lol. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the debate. Gabriel says, not really cooking. Brett Alt, what's good, man? Champion. Do you have this every so often? The last one wasn't that long ago. So there's an election in a couple of weeks, dude. There were 2 debates scheduled for all the candidates before the election so that they could present their positions to the public. So that's why we did the 2 debates. What's up, Okanda? Matthias, hey, Matthias paid you a nice compliment, Malsh. I don't know who is talking, but he's very well spoken. Very nice. Brett, here's a good comment from him. Another example is if I want to do something Doom related, and if I were to approach Malsh for something like that, since Kess does Doom, I know Malsh wouldn't have a problem with that. I hate to say it, Steve, but Malsh is right. You lack a lot of major direction, bro. Plus, if I had any criticism, you were too broad for a lot of your views. Be more confident and detailed. Steve, sounds like a few of the people are kind of siding with Malsh on this one. Do you have a response?
To Brett's comment?
To all of it, basically. Sure, Brett's comment, Malsh's statement, anything. Whatever you want to talk about.
I understand the criticism when it comes by being too broad and ambitious. I definitely think I could shorten it down a little bit and focus more detailed on a couple different things instead of a wide variety of things at first.
You think you're focusing on too many things?
The criticism is correct?
I'm saying I understand where the criticism is coming from.
Sure.
Being
Okay.
a little too ambitious is definitely an issue. That's what I saw with Chicken Lord. Is I don't think he realized how much work it is for one person. When he got elected, he got over his head and wasn't able to get pickup attorneys off the ground. And that is a mistake that I don't want to make.
Okay, well, what would you do different to avoid that?
I would probably put a team together to do the various things, whether it's games night, YouTube channel.
That seems awful similar to somebody's plan who I know of.
You've already mentioned ideas are similar, but I would have people apply for the position, and I would probably see who I think are best for the job.
Oh, so what you're saying is the only difference between your system and my system is that yours is not democratic.
That's one difference. You never let me finish. You keep interrupting me this entire thing while I'm talking, and then when I go to
Very aggressive,
explain,
Steve.
you tell me to shut up.
I didn't tell you to shut up. I haven't used that word once.
I concur. I haven't heard Malsh say to shut up, and at least not in this debate. Go ahead, Steve. Keep going, man.
Let's see.
We won't interrupt you. Take all the time you need.
Oh, I know. I think if I get elected, one of the first things that I'll focus on is getting pickups and attorneys off the ground in the first few months.
One of the
By
first
hosting the-
things you'll do when you get elected
I was
is
gonna
get
try to
pickups,
have the
attorneys.
first event by the end of October. I'm probably going to see if Chicken Lord wants to continue to help running pickup attorneys.
And you want to get your
And,
first event done by the beginning of October?
By the end of October.
By the end of October, so about a month or two from now? Correct?
I would do that, yeah.
Okay. So, like, what kind of event? Like, just... So, the pickups and
Thinking
tournament
of
system...
a Doom event. I don't know if we're going to do 1-on-C1 the first 220 frags or something, and then you move on that tournament, and the winner gets a subscription to Discord Nitro, the top 3 or something.
Oh, the winner of the tournament gets a free subscription to Discord Nitro?
Yeah.
Who's putting up the prize?
I don't know as of yet. I might
You don't
put it
know
up.
yet. Okay, so that's to be determined.
Yeah.
Okay, Mosh, your thoughts on this?
For the pickup and tourney system?
For how he plans to work with it moving forward, assuming he's elected. He said he would try to get it off the ground a couple of months, have an event, have a prize. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's a fine plan. I think it's just a plan that's not going to work. I still
Why
think
not?
that we don't have the community around that kind of a system to make that flourish. I think Chicken Lord has a really good plan of attack if he had more time within it, which is why I would continue to allow Chicken Lord to run that system. Since it's actually not all that well known about right now, if it doesn't succeed, there's no disappointment among the community. So if Chicken Lord wants to continue to run his system and wants to continue to try and make that flourish and work, I'm totally okay with him doing that. I just don't think at this current time, with the community that we have, that tournaments are going to be something that a lot of people will participate in.
Well, that's fair enough. We've seen that with movie night, even when it was a very public, very well announced thing, you would only see like 3 or 4 people there, which was fine. The movies were just for whoever wanted to see them, but ideally, when you're doing community events, it'd be nice if you could have a few more people talking, communicating. It'd be a lot more fun, to say the least. So if I understand correctly, your approach is growth first, events later, or events once you have the community to support it. I guess I'm not quite sure.
You can't have a cake without eggs and flour, and the eggs and flour in this situation is the actual people in the server.
Okay.
The server has been broadcasted as a place to talk, not a place to participate, which is something that we'll need to change if we want to do this, which is why I'm saying that if you vote for me, it's going to be a slow burn change.
A slow burn change.
So yes, no, it will eventually. Things like tournaments I would love to do, but right now the server just isn't built for that.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, it is a long-running server. It's been around for over 4 years. It was set up in July of 2018 when Basher set it up, and back then I didn't even know what Discord was. So I had to learn how to do it when I took over managing it. So, yeah, I mean, I've just basically added stuff as we went. I mean, we always have. So this sort of system right here with other people, with you guys bringing in your perspectives, your ideas, your plans for change, I'm excited for it, for one, because you just have so much creativity with it that I probably could never bring. Like, I have a few cool ideas myself, but you guys just seem to have a much better idea for how to implement them. Anyway, I'm going to read the chat for a little bit. Okanda says, I vote for Mosh because his name is funny to pronounce. Dallas says, Jeopardy theme in between the silence in my mind, and I hate it. Dude, me too. Why Costa and Canaton have very little votes? Well, for one, you haven't seen either of them in this debate, so that probably has something to do with it. For another, I have really never seen them campaigning. I think Costa...
Cataton one day argued with me, and it was purely satirical. He said himself that he's in this for pure satire.
Oh, really? I'd explain why we've never seen him in debates.
Yes. He's only here for satirical reasons.
The only thing I've seen him do was write really edgy medieval folklore about the Discord server. That was about the only campaigning I saw at a Cataton. No, was I the only one who saw this? Everyone else is being quiet about it.
I did not see it.
You didn't see that? Oh, okay. Wow. All right, then. Costa, he hasn't campaigned much. I think at one point he said he wanted to bring about free speech, whatever that meant. I mean, I feel like the Discord server, for the most part, you can pretty
Yeah,
much
we're
say
pretty
what you
lenient.
want to say within reason, as long as it's not at the expense of somebody else or includes a ton of sexual content. So, but I mean,
Well, it
maybe I'm
includes
in the
any
wrong. Do you two
sexual
gentlemen feel
content.
the same way? I've never seen either one of you bring that up.
What?
Free
speech?
speech. Do you feel like that's a real issue? I don't feel like that's an issue anyone in the
No.
community is that concerned about.
No, I don't think it's an issue. We're pretty lenient.
Well, I mean, last...
what you
Well,
want
no,
within
I won't
reason.
get into that. Never mind. That's kind of off topic. Captain is online. He hasn't joined. Is he online? I'd be surprised. I reached out to him earlier and asked, and he said he wasn't planning on attending. Costa said he... Oh, yeah, he is online. Costa said he was planning on attending, but he never showed, so... And he's not online either. All right, then. Whoops. There we go. That's better. Champion says, looks like Malsh is winning barely. Oh, in the poll here? Yeah. Yeah, we got a 48 to 43%. And about 4% to Costa and Cataton. Very nice. All right, so Brett says, as a viewer, I would say that free speech isn't really relevant when it comes to this election debate. Yeah, I'd honestly kind of have to agree with you, Brett. All right, guys. Well, we've been debating for about 56 minutes. This was only supposed to go on for an hour, so we'll go ahead and go through closing remarks in the next 5 minutes. So if you guys have any final bequest to your potential voting group, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Steve, you can go first.
Go ahead, Steve.
Have my remarks ready.
Yeah.
Say vote for who feel right, and vote for me if you Fuck, I didn't have my remark ready.
Didn't have it ready.
There.
Okay. Malsh, do you want to go and come back to Steve, or do you just want to wait for him to get his thoughts collected?
No, I'll wait.
Okay. I'll wait too. You go ahead, Steve. I'll read the chat. Oh, there's nothing to read. Never mind. Hey, thank you guys for 20 likes. I'll thank the chat for that. Thank you. Appreciate all the likes on the stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I don't think we've ever gotten 20 likes. No, that's not true. Well, no, that's not true. We have gotten 20 likes within the first hour before. It's just not very common.
Will either of you plan on cutting down on the amount of your mom jokes? No.
Probably.
No mom jokes. As
either
your new dictator, I will make sure that the only things that are said in the Discord are your mom jokes.
It's too much for convincing at today's cam.
While we're waiting on Steve to collect his thoughts, I actually have a question for you, Malsh. It's kind of a niche question, and it's really only for you, as it really only applies to you. I have personally seen a few members of the community hesitant to vote for you, not because of your platform, not because of anything related to the Discord, really, but only because in the past you have made statements that has made people assume that you self-identify as a socialist.
Well,
Would
I
you
am a
like to
socialist.
take a chance to clarify any of that?
Sure. If people don't want to vote for me because of my in real life political ideologies, then don't vote for me. I don't think you deserve to have a vote.
Whoa! What?
I think if you are so close-minded that you have to take external thought out of an election,
external factors,
and put it into your vote behind that, then yes. In fact, for those people, let me give you guys the fuel that you want. I'm a dirty commie.
Hold on a second, Moss. Hold on.
Karl Marx.
Hold on, Moss. Hold on a second.
Taken down by YouTube.
Okay, it's not gonna get taken down by YouTube.
Speech.
Okay, hold on a second, Moss. Hold on a second, man. Look, I get your point. I really do. Like, that don't have anything to do with the Discord. Why is that even getting brought up? I get your point, and I would agree with you if the question was more something like, oh, you had a relationship with a girl and you broke up. I would agree. That would be a stupid thing to take into factor. But hold on, let me finish. But
Okay.
within the
Jason, let
context
someone
of
finish their
an
comments.
elected leadership position and creating programs and stuff, I could see why people might be hesitant to think certain ideologies might play into some of what you might want to do in the future and their concern with that. So,
Well,
like, what
the
would you say to
server-
alleviate that?
The server doesn't have economics, so I think that's the first thing. I can't institute a lack of currency because there is no currency. I can't
What?
institute anarchy because there's already an established law. If honestly, if you're going to vote for me and one of your deciding factors, and I already can think of a few people who might be worried about this, if your deciding factors are on my political ideologies, then sure, go ahead. But no, the principles that I have are the ones that I'm displaying here, and not the ones that I would be displaying outside of this. So yes, I am a socialist. Yes, I will say that I'm a socialist. If that's the reason you don't want to vote for me, then okay. I don't think that has anything to do with this.
No, it's
All right.
nothing to do with it.
Fair enough. Steve, do you disagree?
Wait, what? Smallish? No,
Yeah.
it's not on that.
Not on
If
that?
Someone's
Okay.
going to not vote for someone on a really stupid reason.
So
Why
you
bother
agree
in the
that
first place?
not voting for Mosh because of him being a socialist is a stupid reason?
It's pretty irrelevant to the Discord election.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
so
people can disagree with me. That's fine, and you can have
Sure.
arguments with me too. That's fine. It's just I think if you're going to
Right.
be voting for somebody as a
Yeah,
as
why
like a Discord
why not
donor,
vote for
you know.
someone?
I mean,
for
if the
ridiculous, petty
Discord
reasons?
and the channel were about politics, maybe I could see it, but it's about video games.
Yeah.
So, okay, Steve, do you have your closing remarks prepared yet, dude?
Not really.
Okay, well,
then-
how
then
about
I
you?
can-
How about you just give people the top 5 reasons to vote Steve for Steve Go Home and call it a day? Can you do that?
Sure. Vote for
All right.
me to get gaming night off the ground.
Gaming night off the ground.
Vote for me to bring more events to Discord.
Gaming night
Vote
off the
for
ground.
me-
More events.
Vote for me for a community YouTube channel.
Community YouTube channel.
Vote for me for giveaways.
Giveaways. Promising a lot of stuff. All right, number 5. Come on, Steve, you can do it.
And vote for me to. What's one more thing to count?
I don't know about everyone else. I'm on the edge of my seat. Vote for Steve for number 5. What is it? Just 4?
Did before.
Okay, just the 4. Good deal. Steve, go home, everybody. Give him a big round of applause. Okay, Mosh, your closing remarks, sir.
My closing remarks.
Yeah.
I wanted Steve to go first because I knew he wouldn't be able to come up with something, and I'm actually kind of using this as a way to advertise why you should vote for me. So under my plan, you can find a whole bunch of stuff with democratic leadership. You can apply yourself if you want to help run the server. If we get a YouTube channel set up, you will have free reign if you want to submit a video or ideas. If you vote for me, there are numerous ways and numerous parts that you can take place in yourself, despite the fact if you're early to the server or what have you. Under my, I guess you could call it jurisdiction in heavy quotations, I want to give everybody a voice. I want to allow those who have not been heard to be heard. I want to make a safer environment for the Discord. I want to make it a better, more enjoyable experience for everyone and allow people to express themselves the way that they want to. If you are interested in any of these things, vote for Mulch.
Good deal. All right, guys. So yeah, there you go. There's the debate between Malsh and Steve Gohome. If you want to vote in this upcoming election for the new main owner of the Discord, you can do so from September 16th through September 18th right here on the server. We're going to be having a special election, registered voters only, and you can choose the candidate from the form on the ballot.
Do you want to explain how to become a registered candidate or registered
voter? It's pretty simple, really. You need to be in the server, have no you need to have no more than one warning violation. You need to be at least level 5. That's really basically it.
And that's the biggest thing. You need to be level 5.
You need to be level 5.
If you guys want to come in and vote, you need to be able to join the Discord before the 16th rank up to level 5, which doesn't take very long.
Right. You need to, it really does not take long. And the only reason we do it that way, I don't care much for that system because it feels unkindly. It feels like it disenfranchises the more of the lurkers in the community. But quite frankly, if you're not invested enough to get up to level 5, you're probably not invested enough to vote. I feel like that's a pretty fair assertion because level 5 is not hard. I mean, Plasma got to level 5 in like 2 days. So yeah. I watched him do it. I was like, dang, man, good job. Anyway, guys, that's it for the election. Thank you, or not the election, gosh, the debate. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Big thank you to both Malsh and Steve Gohome for tuning in today. I'm sure whichever one of these guys gets elected, or even if it's someone totally different, we're going to get an awesome person in there, one I'll be looking forward to working with for next year. I'm going to read the chat a little bit, and then we're going to go. So, oh man, I got to go back a bit. Dallas says, I can't invite one of my friends. To what? Champion says, will Steve give free pizza rolls if he becomes king? Gabriel says, I say you should vote for who will do a good job. And I would vote Malsh, because he has a good plan and a backup plan. That's why I'd vote for him. Brett says, yes, if I were to cut down the mom jokes, it would take away the identity of the server. True. In real life, I'm a libertarian, but Malsh still seems the best. I believe that Malsh's political views should not be relevant. Voice chat audio quality goes very well with 240p resolution. Oh, KJ1 said, ooh, socialism. Socialism is banned because I am forever stronger than all. Okay. In closing, if you don't vote for Malsh because of his real political views, then you love the view of your own colon. Oh my, Brett. Okay. Wow. Anyway, guys, that's basically the chat. I think we've summed it up pretty well. Check out the Discord. Vote in the election. I'm going to be taking a poll here pretty soon. It'd be the first one we've taken in almost a month. Yes, almost a month. There's only 4 candidates on the ballot now. That'll be interesting to see. Regardless, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the debate, and I will see you all soon. Till next time, I have been your host, Kess Gaming. I will see you all at the top. I said see you all twice there. That was weird. Bye, everybody.